You're welcome to Divine Offspring International School, and you're welcome to our science class. Now, firstly, I'll need you to look at some of these appliances. We have the fan, we have the television. At the end of this, I'll need you to tell me the reasons or how does these appliances work. We have a charging phone. We have the pressing iron. We also have a blender. Now, all these are home appliances. That means they are things that are used in our various houses. Now, I'll need you to tell me, or do you know how these appliances work? They work as a result of what I'm going to explain to you in our next slide. Now, they work as a result of electricity. Now, look at the circuit, the electric circuit being drawn now. We have a battery and we have the light bulb. The battery produces light, throws an electrons that makes the light bulb on. Now, all these appliances I made mention of, they work as a result of electricity. Now we move on to the big question. And the big question is, what is electricity? Electricity can be defined as the movement of electrons, is the movement of electrons in a circuit. Now, what actually are electrons? When we talk about electrons, what do they mean? Now, look at the diagram right there. We have the electricity electrons, we have the light bulb, and we have the flow of electrons right there. From this, we'll be able to define what an electron is. An electron is a negatively charged particle. An electron is a negatively charged particle. Now, I'll need you to kindly write down some things that home some things at home that uses electricity. I believe you should be able to do that. Write that down quickly. Okay. Now, there are basically two types of electricity. We have basically two types of electricity. The first type of electricity we have is called the static electricity. The static electricity. Why the second one is called the current electricity. Now let's look at the first one, which is the static electricity. From the name static, static means something that does not move. Then when we are talking about static electricity, is a kind of electricity that is made by rubbing together two or more objects and making friction. Examples of such of a static electricity is rubbing of hands. When you rub your hands together, it creates heat. That's an example of the static electricity. Also, pushing an object on the ground is also an example of a static electricity. Now let's look at current electricity. Current electricity is that electricity that flows from one place to another. Now look at some of the safety rules in electricity. Number one, do not play with appliances. Never mix water and electricity. Now, I'll need you to kindly ask mommy and daddy some of the safety rules and also write them down in your book. Till we meet next week. Bye.